I quit nicotine to the point where I forgot that I was even addicted. I go weeks at a time without even thinking about ZYNs or cigarettes or nicotine, and I'm going to tell you the one and only thing that I used to get here. I know that might sound impossible if you're struggling to quit right now and you think that you're going to be getting these urges every 30 seconds for the rest of your life, but that's not true. But first of all, my name is Zach, and I help people remove the things that are holding them back in life so they can let the life they want to live have room to actually grow. So I'm going to tell you a short story about the time that I realized I was actually over my nicotine addiction and how I did it. I was at a day festival with my girlfriend and some of my friends about a year ago. And this was also like just a few weeks into my nicotine quitting journey. And I'll tell you, I wasn't even thinking about nicotine until my buddy pulled out a vape. He doesn't usually vape, but I noticed he had one. And he passed it back to some random girl who was in our group. It was like one of his girlfriend's friends that was tagging along that day. And throughout the day, he keeps like asking her for it, and she keeps like pulling it out of her shirt. You know how girls like store stuff in their titties? And he keeps hitting it over and over again. And when you're trying to quit something and you've been addicted to it for years, and it keeps being waved in front of your face all day, it makes you want it. It slowly takes over your thoughts. I went from someone who was trying to quit nicotine to someone who was really considering just hitting my friend's vape. My girlfriend knows that I quit nicotine. I used ZYNs for years, and I've been trying to quit for the past few weeks. And you know what? After a few hours of this mental torture, I decided that I was going to do it. I was going to ask my buddy to hit the vape when the next time he had it was. So we're all sitting down, and I see my opportunity. Then my buddy asks this girl for a hit of her freaking strawberry bubblegum vape or whatever, and then she reaches into her titties and gives it to him. And he starts sucking on it, and this is when I decide that this is my chance. So I say, "Hey man, what you got there?" And he looks at me and goes, "It's hers." And I stop. At this moment, I say, what the hell am I doing? I've been battling this addiction for weeks, and here I am asking my buddy, "What you got there?" when I know exactly what he's got there. It's a vape. And it's not even his. It's some girl whose name I don't even know. And then it hits me. I can't ask some random girl whose name I don't even know to hit her vape that she just pulled out of her titties in front of my girlfriend, who knows that I'm trying to quit. Who knows that I quit weeks ago. Weeks ago. My girlfriend would be like, "What the fuck are you doing, Zach? You quit nicotine, remember? Why are you doing that? Also, don't be sucking on some girl's fucking titty vape. That's weird." And it's weird because my girlfriend doesn't vape, so she doesn't get it. She doesn't understand that when you go without nicotine for a few days or weeks, and then you hit a vape, it's like receiving a warm hug from God. She doesn't vape. Aha. 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 My girlfriend doesn't vape. So she doesn't do the things that people who vape do. And that is how I quit nicotine. Let me explain. Oh, and before we go on, to continue that story, how I got out of that situation, I just said to my buddy, I was like, "Oh, what you got there?" And he was like, "Oh, it's hers." And I was like, "Oh, you don't smoke weed?" And he's like, "It's not weed, it's like a vape, stupid." And I'm like, "Oh, you're stupid, you fucking loser, fucking vapes." And that was it. You probably heard me say this before, but the real way that I quit nicotine was because I killed the version of myself that uses nicotine and became someone who doesn't use nicotine. Let me use the gym as an example so your tiny little monkey brain can understand this. Let's say you want to get fucking shredded at the gym and have a six-pack or something. Right now you're a fat little fuck who doesn't do any of the things that a person with a six-pack does. So to get a six-pack, you need to become someone who has a six-pack. That means you need to do the things that a guy with a six-pack does, and you need to not do the things that a guy with a six-pack doesn't do. The guy with a six-pack probably has a gym membership, and you don't. The guy with a six-pack probably eats healthy and tracks his calories, and you don't do that. The guy with a six-pack probably goes to the gym 1 or 2 times a day, and you don't do that. The guy with a six-pack probably does an hour of cardio a day, and you don't. The guy with a six-pack probably drinks a lot of water, gets good sleep, cares about his health and appearance, and you don't. So if you want to become a guy with a six-pack, you need to do those things that a guy with a six-pack does over time and avoid the things that he wouldn't do, and slowly make those habits just your second nature. If you do that, you will become that guy. Now let's flip that. If you want to become a person who's addicted to nicotine, well, you probably know what to do. But if you want to become a person who doesn't use nicotine, you need to do the things that a person who doesn't do nicotine does. Like me, for example. I don't use nicotine. I don't scroll through quitting nicotine subreddits. I don't bum cigarettes or ZYNs or vape hits off people. I don't waste $5 to $15 every day. I don't look for excuses to use it. I don't let it live rent-free in my head. I don't think about it all day. Because when you do that, you manifest it. I don't watch quitting nicotine YouTube videos or timelines. So make this video your last video on the subject. I mean, that is what you're doing here, right? I understand that I am never going to use nicotine again, not even once. And yes, it gets so much easier over time. But one hit, one lip, one drag, one ZYN, it's not worth it because you don't use nicotine anymore. Let me give you another example. Let's say you're walking down the street with some friends and you see a junkie on the side of the road, homeless, shooting up like heroin or meth or something. You don't think to yourself, oh, I better stay away from that, or oh, I don't want to get addicted to heroin, or oh, I hope like this doesn't trigger like a heroin relapse in me or anything. You don't need to ever think about not using heroin because you just don't. It's not even on your radar. It's insane. Because it is. That's how you're going to look at nicotine soon if you follow this path. So give this a try because this actually worked for me. Remove the things that are holding you back in life so you can let the life you want to live have room to actually grow. Like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Let me know how you're doing today. Bye-bye.